Yeah, you can look at all the gallery now.
I was gonna say that's a fun spot to end it on, but let's take a look at the gallery first. Okay. Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
The city. The Opera House. What a blast.
Oh, shit.
That is a crazy image.
Right. Okay. Wow, those colors.
Look at this. Vibrant colors. Uh-huh.
I mean, for the role that it plays, like, holy shit, the Magitech engines get, like, a lot of iconic usage with the logo and such. Because they're fucking cool to look at. But they're so actually minor in the grand scheme of things.
What a character.
That is the Tower of Kefka. I used it today when when I announced the stream.
Beautiful.
It's awesome. It's just like literally you just watercolored and bled the watercolors down.
Yeah.
To create like a weird alienish form that looks wrong. Doesn't look like earth or rock, you know?
Beautiful.
Dragon? It's a Magitech engine.
What's the title?
What is the title? Spirit and Steel. I don't know. It looks like a dragon. There's a claw at the bottom.
Is it the Espers like attacking or something? Or,
could be.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is, but it looks like a very cool monster. And then there's, yeah, the ship over to the side there. It's probably just, yeah, one of the Espers. Nice. There you go.
They're on top again.
Yeah. Watercolors, man. So much respect. As I've tried so much. I tried a lot. And they're so hard to use. Getting good with watercolors is like...
Yeah, like any like different amount of water will ruin the thing.
Well, it's a flawless performance. A lot of other mediums you can correct. If you're working with pastels, if you're working with, you know, gouache or...
You can go over it.
Yeah, acrylics, you can correct your mistakes. You know, Conte, certainly. But watercolors, you are not correcting it.
What's this?
Desert Castle.
Oh,
Figaro.
Okay. Man.
The ensemble. Oh yeah, okay, hold on a second. I kind of missed.
Oh yeah, they're kind of all there.
Yeah, they are. Just the black mixture of Locke, Setzer. Cool. Can't zoom in, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad. That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, can't zoom in.
Beautiful. Man, she was trying to like find herself, dealing with like acceptance, half human, half Esper, nobody wants me. Am I deserving of love?
Half Esper, half Japanesey.
You are deserving of love.
And look, that's what the actual dragons that we fought on the overworld looked like before they turned into ferocious beasts and brachiosaurs.
Lost her father as well, Maduin. Maduin who couldn't resist the stench.
Yeah, the paleness of his figures too is like
porcelain.
Wild.
Yeah.
They're literally disappearing into the background sometimes.
Beautiful.
Nice.
It's cute. Oh.
I wonder if if the chibi forms were kind of like a thought towards what the sprite might look like. Though it's like, dude, you know, like it's gonna look a lot more compressed than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wild Panther Lady. Fuzzy. I thought the sprite was gonna be like slick. I think I said dolphin skinned.
Unused. Okay.
Interesting.
Wow.
That's an alright design too. I like the blue coat. Cool.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
The boy.
We took a look at these earlier.
Locke Cole.
JoJo color variations,
Yeah.
getting the pinks and greens in. All right, Celeste. Dio outfit. It really is like if it's not the Cammy with a cape, then we're doing Dio a little bit.
Yeah, Locke lost his Rachel, and he searched the world trying to find himself.
He did.
And now Celeste, he has the blessing.
Approved from on high. Edgar. Yeah, this is the piece. That's the one right there.
Edgar.
Like that armor detail in particular, like you can really get a feel for it. It's good.
Gave away his freedom so that his brother could have it.
Beard.
Big beard. That would have been cool.
And then Chonk mode. It's a completely different person. This is the Metal Slug version of Edgar. Simon, rather, sorry.
Heavy machine gun.
Yeah. That's the one I wanted.
Yeah.
That, you know? Give him the fucking World of Ruin beard. Give him a Ruin beard and call it a Ruin beard. That's what you get lifting houses.
And they lost their father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all have these little creatures on their shoulders too in the art as well. Like, not quite sure if those are like kind of like mini Esper things.
Cyan, the struggle of losing his whole kingdom, his family.
Ninja with a cape, with a. Not all of them have him with this the skirt kind of detail, but it's nice secondary animation when you want to flex. Very cool.
Yeah, lost a friend. Baron lost his family and decided to stay behind.
Yes.
Yep. Tried to fled his past, but really it was always there. Left the daughter. Riding Interceptor. That's cool. Wow.
Are these the REG caps? The recaps?
Yeah, like this whole game, everybody was like had a struggle of loss. It was so like interesting.
That one's sick.
Thrown away by his father.
Yeah, his dad's nuts.
Mother
Beast kid.
passed away childbirth. And he still matters. He's like, you know what? The father is alive. I'm okay with it. He forgave his father.
Yeah.
Redemption.
That, I want to zoom in on that coat and
yeah, there's good details on it.
Check the texture.
Especially like under the arm on the left there.
Because like there's no, when you see that kind of fabric in art, like there's no shortcut for that.
It's even more
I'm just looking at the art.
Yeah,
I hear you. I'm just looking
no, that's fair. That's
like,
doing well.
There's no shortcut for that type of work. You have to just do it slowly and painfully,
methodically.
You know, you can try to like tape off a bunch of it and Jackson Pollock your way through, but what you see there is manually done. Nice pose. That's a fun perspective. You can't really see the. If there was a background, there'd be like a vanishing point, just above his fist there, and he's kind of like doing the back turn. Araki does like a lot of those like dynamic angles as well.
Rest in peace, Daryl. You were a good one. Man, he lost his ship.
Table there.
That's not even his ship that he has now. God.
Yeah, Alucard vibes. Absolutely, definitely has with the pale long hair, the long black cape. It feels a lot like Alucard, and that is he's standing on some glorified dice. Of course he is.
Old man Strago.
Put your chest away, old man.
Strago Magus.
Before it gets folded up.
Wow.
See, there you go. With the goggles and the tech. That's kind of a weird, interesting tech mage vibe. Not the same character at all.
He lost his daughter.
Yep. Probably in some sort of
Realm's mother.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm saying probably in some sort of, potentially tragic way, but we don't really know. And then of course the cute version
pooped on him for not taking care of Hedon. He couldn't live with himself. Realm. Mog
Taking a sip. Fun.
lost his whole crew. All the other Mogs are gone.
That's a fun background.
There's nothing holding him back.
That's a fun little divider. You just crammed all the Moogles into the same box. Just cram them in.
Time to take the mask off.
The Moogle box. That's
Look at
how.
them butt cheeks.
That's the world we come from, Kupo. Oh shit! Yeah, true. Mog's got the dumpy. A little bit. Are you admiring my Kupo? Yeah.
Go. Look at these colors.
Yeah, no, that's the one. Seeing this, you're like, oh, this is just many. Honestly, like, this is when you if you were anyone but Amano and you draw this and you hand it over for someone to model in game, you know, in 3D, they just throw it back at you and curse you out of their office. Like, that is such a ridiculous, obnoxious ask of your team. A character of 15 fabrics. At minimum.
57 colors.
And feathers at the top.
Yep.
For dynamic animation. And all the fabrics behave
Dangling.
differently. You know, and then the trimmings of the fur on the bottom as they drag. Like, it would be ridiculous to have a fully detailed version of this character moving around, you know. But Amano said, "Fuck it, you know, do what you can, do your thing."
Big boy.
Hell yeah! And with a little bit of jewelry, just a little bit,
Just a bit of
to let you
bling,
know, that he understands. This is all a fashion choice. The fur he grows and the muscle you're seeing is a fashion choice. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, they all, like, was there supposed to be perhaps like a companion mechanic, like espers that had like little chibi forms, you know? Because I the fact that it keeps coming back in this art makes me wonder if like Magicite was supposed to be like a little Pokemon buddy or something. Yeah. Obnoxiousness.
God Emperor.
Like turning to catch his good side.
Yeah. That face.
I'm ready for my close-up.
Beautiful. Ooh.
Nice. Gestalt.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I kind of, if I saw that beforehand, I probably would have not seen the dog, the KK slider, but yeah, Leo was a nice, like, damn, don't you wish you had him as a playable character?
Absolutely.
Oh, you thought? You know, that's a nice little pump fake.
You have to go deep in the bugs to have Leo on your party.
Yeah.
But apparently it's possible.
I got got. I thought we were going in that direction. Because, you know, good person on the bad team, you know. Celeste style.
Banana Man.
Ring, banana phone.
Oh.
Just lounging in that bed.
What I was doing was bad? I didn't know.
Feed me fish. Only the fast ones.
Just the fast fish.
Hey, why don't you go take a leap of faith? Freshen you right up! Yeah! Oh, whatever happened to me, goddammit?
Oh.
Yeah, everybody forgot about Braden. That's fine. That son of a bitch up there, God, he doesn't want nothing to do with me anymore, but that's alright.
I'll see him in hell.
I'll see you in hell, God. Bless my friends, no? You don't want to listen anymore? What good are you?
I know you're there. I know you're there.
Give me that. Give me that heel bucket. Slurp it up the heels. Banon brew. Yeah, I don't know if he made it to the world of ruin.
No.
We're going to go ahead and say probably not. He didn't even get a credit either. He was on the party. He was on the party. They the credits did not shout out Banon.
Featuring.
Sons of bitches, Baron gets forgotten again.
No royalties.
Biggs and Wedge, no shit. Yeah, okay. Soldiers.
Oh, the ghost.
The ghost. The ghost was a party member too.
Woo!
Yeah.
Owzer with the big colors.
You are gross.
Living large.
He was the painting guy, right?
Yes, he was the owner of
with Realm.
the painting place. Yeah.
Dataluma. Look at that pose. Fucking high stepping. It's so weird, but it's a power kick.
Oh, taking a stance.
Steaming up. Yeah.
The Magna Rotor.
Rotors.
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool pick. What's on the bottom there? Is that like a
Bottom
bug?
right?
Yeah.
I think it's a rock, maybe?
It looks like a crushed bug or something. Anyway, that's a good one.
Number 24.
Who was that?
I think that was in the Magitech. When we're fleeing the Magitech facility on the train tracks, I think.
Okay. Number 128.
Ah, yes.
Nalapa.
On the floating continent.
Okay.
The tentacles.
Of course. Clymenus. I don't remember.
I don't remember this.
Oh God.
Three Stooges.
Three Stooges. Ed, and Eddie. Fuck you.
Clymenus is also floating continent?
Floating continent? Okay. Lara Gorn. Death Gaze.
Death Gaze. Still living.
Survived.
Still alive.
Survived. Fucking coward. Get back here. It's a pretty cool design. Wow. Even more.
Is there a person between his arms?
There is.
Wow.
It looks like he's kind of embracing, and then like a small something is in the middle there. Tyrone and Eltro. Typhon. Yeah. Oh, he had a second face at the back. I didn't even notice that on the sprite. And there's... Okay, Ultros is...
No, I think you mentioned the second face.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
So far.
Ultros is absolutely accurate as intended. They didn't depart from that at all.
With the same teeth and the tentacles.
Same ass sprite. Yeah. They completely nailed it. Goddess.
The Crusader form.
Oh. Okay.
Only a fraction of the power of the Warren tribe.
Okay. Fiend. Crusader form.
That looks badass.
It does. It was hard to make out what I was looking at when they appeared in sprite form. And the riot. Oh no! Wait, where's Devil? Goddess, Fiend, and Devil, right? Oh,
no image.
Raiden.
Oh my god, he's flexing.
Yeah. Souls boss.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
Santetskin.
The imp, that's what it looks like.
That is not a kappa. It is... Why is it flesh colored with blonde hair? That's weird. Kappas are usually green with like black hair.
Uh-huh. Not this one.
And then the shell and the bald. Okay, well that's getting a little closer, I suppose.
Oh wow.
Oh, are these from the
what is this?
These are from the earlier remake, right? Like the kind of like I remember there was one of the versions that had like shade sprites with filters on them. iOS
mobile remake.
Yeah. Okay. There's some screenshots because when you go look up screenshots because I was for posting stuff. I noticed like the layout of the game changes so drastically according to which version. You can instantly tell like, oh, that is not the Pixel Remaster. Like, you know, this is SNES. Like, there's like the mobile version had like full head portraits at the bottom of the action bar.
Okay.
or divided it like vertically instead of horizontally. Very very different depending on which version you play. Okay.
That's cute.
And these are like literal sprite interpretations. Basically going from a mono to sprite back to art. Cool. Yeah.
That's the end of the gallery. Wasn't that awesome? Was that amazing?
Video game's pretty good. I think maybe I kind of get it.
Yeah?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I get it. I get it.
Welcome. Now you know.
Cool.
It's beautiful.
Hey Reggie, can I borrow $14,000?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we can make something happen maybe.
Cool.
Shared custody though.
We'll talk.
Okay.
What do you have over there?
So, I was looking at stuff, and there's this website, shmuplations.com/ff6, that has some interviews from older magazines. So we have the thoughts of the creators and the artists and the designers and stuff. So this is Final Fantasy VI character design interview serialized from September 94 to May 95 in V-Jump magazine. Here are some thoughts. Okay, so how did you come up with the character of Terra? And Sakaguchi says, from the beginning we knew that she would be half Esper, half human, but there was also a time where she was actually a slightly older male character.
Okay.
I wonder how that would have changed the story. You know?
It would have. It would have just been a little more of what we'd seen before.
Yeah,
like mostly male protagonists generally. So, I think it would have stood out a little bit less.
Yeah, probably.
In my opinion.
Yeah. So in the first half of the game, she's pretty passive. She just goes along and she's kind of lost, trying to find herself. But the story progresses, and
yeah, because the thing. Sorry, I just like. Considering how old this game is, there's still, you know, like when BioShock Infinite came out, there was a struggle between the studio and the marketing department over what the box art should look like, because the team wanted the box art to focus on Elizabeth, but the marketing team wanted Booker to be like the guy with the gun on the box, and like they basically had to like compromise or whatever, because they're basically just like, we have data that says games with a girl on the box sell less. Yeah. You know? So every decision like that has its ramifications, and then... Is
that only in America? I don't expect like that.
It's primarily an American thing, but I think it's a global thing at this point.
Yeah?
It's, I mean, the market is global, certainly. Like the world of like the... Games internationally are now more or less the same thing, versus back in these days when they were like complete. I mean, this was Final Fantasy III America.
Yeah,
you know, they used to be very, very different, and the characters interpreted. Mega Man it was a completely different person on the box in America than he was in Japan. So,
you mean the human Mega Man?
Exactly, bad box art Mega Man, right? So all that to say that in terms of like, you know, choices for your character and stuff like that. Given the time and given the usual thing that RPGs were about, and given the target demographic and audience, it was a bold choice to put, you know, a girl as the main character in both acts of the game, for that matter. Because Persona only did it once in, as far as, you know what, I can't talk for the earlier games that I don't know as well, so I'm not going to be, I don't want to be caught in that stupid thing. But Persona didn't give you a choice between playing a male or female character in one game, as far as I know, and then didn't do it after that, and people really want it, but they still haven't done it again. So, yeah. So
yeah, and then she was manipulated at the beginning, but then she awakens to her own destiny. You know, those are the themes, you know, finding her humanity.
Yep.
The next question was, are there any major changes to her character during development? So originally, they wanted her to disappear along with all the Espers, but they thought it would have been a waste because it's Terra. They didn't want that, so they just made her lose the magic and remain in the world. But she almost disappeared completely and died.
I mean, there's a significant portion of the game, I feel like the part without her lasts a while. twice.
Yeah.
So,
Big sleeps. Big sleeps. Then they're talking about Locke during development. Apparently, during the planning phase, he was more mysterious, even dark, older, and he could do runic back then. He was a friend of Terra and in some way a rival. But once they started like developing his character a bit more, he became more open, and then they gave the runic capability to Celeste instead. Then they made him more like boyish, more outgoing, doing things to propel the story forward.
okay.
Yeah. Locke, apparently, because they wanted to know about Locke's relationship with Rachel and how they met. And that's not something you see in the game, that's just in the mind of the creators, right?
Yeah, it was off camera.
Yeah, so the staff said that from an early age, Locke traveled the world with his father, a treasure hunter, and after his father's death, Locke was treated like a petty thief. Except Rachel, who thought he was cool and still called him a treasure hunter. Which is why he's like, I'm not a thief, I'm a treasure hunter. You know?
Well, yeah, but she was being nice and he's lying. But whatever you say, bro. She was being very
It's
nice.
cool, the title matters,
Yeah.
okay?
She, you know, she approves of whatever lifestyle Locke chooses to engage in.
So he wanted to prove to her that he was a legit treasure hunter.
And that's true love.
That's why he went to get the treasure, and that's what happened to Rachel, which is tragic in a way. He wanted to show off and he lost everything, you know? The Figaro brothers, Edgar and Sabin. Edgar, in the beginning, was a stereotypical sleazeball. So the persona you gave him was kind of appropriate at a certain point in development, but they thought it was too cliche. Tanaka thought it was too cliche, so they removed that aspect of his personality.
So, I mean,
allegedly,
did they?
did they? They tried. He lost his mother as an infant, so he has an especially strong attachment to women in general. And his first crush was one of his father's cousin, and she was always firm in telling him to be a good man, so he studied the art of chivalry.
Okay.
That's why he's like that.
So, I mean, so basically, like, the charm that he has was not there to begin with. It was all the other side, and then they added it in. Okay, well, the charm did come through.
Yeah, it did come through.
It did come through.
Matches.
If I make fun of your favorite characters, these are just jokes. They're just jokes. It's okay. They're all good. Love everybody. Okay.
So the comment section is right there.
Let's go.
Right there. All right. Yes, but unfortunately that woman was killed in some political musing, but he never forgot those feelings about her, so...
Except Strago.
Strago can get it for all we care. That's true. Didn't care back then, didn't care now. Okay.
Strago Schmago.
Yeah.
You know what? All things considered, and this is very actually important to state, and this is every LP really, is like, we have fun with the version of the character that is in our game.
I can't believe we have to explain this.
I know, but I'm going to, because
no, that's fair. Better safe than sorry.
What was it earlier? What was the thing?
What? Which thing? The grooming?
No. It was like literally earlier today. It was like it was like a sentence of a thing that was obvious, and then I repeated what it was because the misinterpretation. Because hey, guess what? Sometimes you need to over-explain something so that it's understood.
Yeah.
But like the Strago we had didn't have all the right lore that the Strago you had that was really good did.
Inns don't exist.
So it was a totally different Strago. Inns don't exist. Thank you.
Inns aren't
Thank you.
real.
That's what I'm. Yeah. Inns aren't real, right? That type of shit.
That's fair.
So, and then the same way that like my Celeste, my Terra was a caster, not a sword swinging wild ass, trance into a physical thing. So that's what it is. It's not a statement on the entire potential of anybody. It's just our Strago had sacrificial fucking lores that didn't end up being you know, the ones I was hoping for. And when I looked for more, it took they didn't show up. So
good save, Woolie. Good save. Good save.
Some people need to hear it. Otherwise, they think I'm like opening ass and dumping like diarrhea on their childhoods, which I'm not.
We're not doing that
because this game's fantastic
it's
and I fucking
amazing.
love it.
It's clean.
Just some people
don't
just
shit on it.
Can't. You gotta, you know.
It's a clean game.
What is going on?
Yeah. So Edgar, lady killer, right? But he was a bit different from regular lady killers, and the person who wrote and created the character was a woman. So they were like, "Oh, I hope people notice that he's actually not a piece of shit and that he cares." You know.
First impressions.
First impressions. Oh.
And then second impressions.
Second impressions matter.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Fuck. Garam? Not Garam. What was it? What was his red?
Garad? Garad?
Garad is top tier. Garad is 11 on 10.
You should bring back Garad.
Yeah.
Bringing back in FF14 or something.
There you go.
know?
Yes. Edgar's fine. Garad
is the boss.
Shit. What a beast.
Yeah. So we had the act where there was the Phantom Train and the Veld, and we see Sabin, Gao, and Cyan, and they act as a surrogate family to each other. It's two children who have lost their fathers, and one father who lost his son. You know, so there's that aspect. They connect with nature, and Sabin is kind of like cuddly bear. You know.
Oh my God! Someone just pointed something out. Sorry, and it's super true. And I know this anyway, but it's like, yeah. Guess what? We're going into Mass Effect, a game where you are gonna form opinions about people, and then people are gonna have real feelings about those opinions that you have about people.
Oh God!
So we're heading into really awesome territory on that one.
Yeah, I'm in danger, am I?
If you have feelings, you might...
I'm gonna need to prepare a disclaimer in my head to be like, whatever this is, it does not reflect my...
If your feelings are
lifestyle.
not in touch with the zeitgeist, prepare for attack.
Good. Bring it on.
Prepare.
Bring it on.
These character-driven adventures make people actually upset at their keyboards. It really does.
I'm so scared.
Good times.
Bring it on.
Good times.
Oh God, please no. Anyway, yeah, that was it. So I already told you that Sabin in the World of Ruin, when he saves the house, he can die. That's what the thought they had, but in the end they were like, that's too dark. Let's not do that. Edgar wears a blue ribbon in his hair. Figaro is a desert country, so yellow for the sun, blue for the water, sacred colors, and it's royal. That's pretty good. And Sabin was afraid of squirrels because when he was a kid, he tried to give one of them a nut and it bit his finger.
I mean, was that anywhere in what we played?
Nope.
All right.
I'm just feeding you nonsense.
Totally. Yeah, what was it like? Ryu hates snakes or whatever the fucking Street Fighter 2 profile. Like, sure, man.
Just know about the personality.
Why not?
Right? Edgar is a bit of a neat freak. He likes to rearrange his room and clean it up. That's what calms him down a bit. They're supposed to be twins, but they don't look like each other. But no. Edgar, you know, he was just chilling, and he was kind of frail at first.
Identical?
Sabin was working out, and then...
Are they intended to be identical twins that, like...
They don't say identical.
Okay. So.
Just twins. But there are not identical twins in the world, right? There are non-identical twins in the world.
Fraternal
right?
twins.
Yeah, fraternal twins. Okay, yeah. So they're twins, but Edgar was like, oh, Sabin's working out. I can work out myself too. And then he got more buffed and started looking a bit more like Sabin, shape-wise. Just a frame. If Edgar was not king, he would have become an airship mechanic since he loves machines and everything. And Tanaka, the girl who wrote his character, says, didn't they used to name boats and ships after women in the old days?
Sure did.
Yeah. Aside from that, Edgar's middle name is Roni and Sabin's is René. Only their closest friends and family know, but the only people in the party who know are Realm, who knows Edgar's middle name, and Cyan and Gal know Sabin's middle name because they have that. They're close, they're buddies.
Oh, so canonically, the groups hung out with specific members more than others.
Yeah, they have like this bond, you know. Cyan, Gal, and Sabin were together for a bit, and Realm and Edgar.
True, there was the original groupings that were not chosen.
Yep. How did Realm learn Edgar's middle name? One day, Realm's companions asked her about the secret of her control technique. Realm replied, "Monster have secret names. If you know a monster's true name, you can control its soul." Edgar was standing by, and he heard that, and he started laughing, and he said, "I have a secret name too, you know." And he whispered it in her ear. He told her in secret, right in her ear.
Heaven's Door! What is this DLC scene?
I would love to see all of that, you know? Animated. Alright, Celeste. Celeste is a crazy character. She kind of takes the lead after in the World of Ruin at the beginning. We go through her, and clearly she's not doing okay. She takes a leap of faith.
If Realm went back to the starting island and Sid told her Kefka's true name, think she could like fucking control a god?
Maybe that's possible.
These are one, you know, you get to play. You want to play that game of Goku versus Superman hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Batman with time to plan. Realm with access to your true name.
GG levels don't matter at this point. Oh yeah, Celeste. In the beginning of the development, Celeste was an Imperial Magitech Knight, and she pretends to be the character's ally. But it required a lot of mental energy and mental strain, and it caused her to go unhinged and crazy. Tears, laughter,
pretending
craziness.
To be an ally.
Yeah. But she had mental strain, and then she just goes crazy. She would like laugh and like cry.
Was that intended, or that's what they're saying happened?
That's in the very beginning of development.
Okay, because I was going to say that didn't come across.
That didn't come across, no.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah.
That is very hard to pull off really well. I can only think of a few instances where you nail it. And I mean, without elaboration, like, I think Attack on Titan is like the strongest instance of what you're describing ever. And that to me is the bar for nailing that feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like, do a good job if you want it to really
don't miss,
have an impact on people.
So at that point, in that previous idea that they had when they were making her, she goes crazy, but then Locke comes in and he treats her like a human being, and he cares about her, and then she knows she's supposed to betray everyone, but she falls in love with him, and then she gets like the conflict inside tearing her apart. That was initially what was supposed to be. Yeah. Why does the story start with Celeste in the world of Rune? There's no central main character in this game, right? All 12 or almost 14 of them are main characters, but they felt like if they started with Terra in the world of Rune, it would give her too much importance in the story, so they decided to shift that and go with Celeste instead. And then they wanted to like...
Celeste is your Dutragonist. That's what she is.
Your what?
Dutragonist. The secondary protagonist.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just want to say like, yeah, that's good. Cyan's character. They changed the development of his character. There was another character named Angela who was his big sister, and she had a whip, and she would half flirt with Cyan, and he would like cringe and be like, "Oh, leave me alone."
Scarlet, basically. That's what that sounds like.
But then like he was more shy and private, and there was never like any connections between the two. But he still remains loyal to his wife, so they just like let that idea of Angela with the sister go.
That sounds probably for the best.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, admittedly, there was some tonal dissonance when Edgar was a comical comic relief seconds after joining and having his family killed.
Yeah.
It was really too quick for that to happen, but that didn't sound great. So, okay.
Gao, as for Gao, the staff did not consider him a main character because he's not connected to the main story.
What name did I just say? Did I not say Cyan? I meant Cyan.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you used a Cyan. No?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, no, anyway. And they made this character just to give a sense of breadth to the world. And the reunion with his father was more detailed during the development. And at first, it took place in the world of Balance. But then they decided to put it in the world of Root instead. After. So I don't know if his father would have been alive after the world of Rune, but you know.
I almost I saw those scenes, like that one, and there's a couple others that play out in my head, like an episode of like a 90s anime. You know, there's episodes of like Cowboy Bebop or Trigun, you know, or Outlaw Star or something where like, you know, a character, like the protagonist kind of meets some new people every episode, and then that helps them resolve their problems. And it's like, oh, the parental relationship with the wild kid, and then you're like, oh, don't you want to go back home? And then when they go back home, and the parents crazy, and it's like, oh no. So, you know, like it felt like kind of like one of those moments where in the end it's like, oh, you didn't get the resolution you expected, but they still can find happiness, kind of thing. Felt a bit like that, and I guess yeah, you just leave the crazy dude to be crazy in his house,
you know,
and he somehow manages to survive the world of Ruin somehow. Sure.
All right, sure, dude.
But yeah, definitely 90s anime episodes, you know, that end and then fade up to the seagulls, and then the credits, and then the next episode teaser type of vibes.
Any interesting stories about Setzer? So usually they do very different stories for every Final Fantasy, and they wanted a gambler job in Final Fantasy V, but they felt like it was too much personality to have a gambler like that in Final Fantasy V. But in 6, every character is like super animated, super lively, so like, let's do it at this point. And then they brought Setzer in Final Fantasy VI. As for the scars, he's proud of them. There were accidents on the airship. Sometimes it was just occupational hazards. But to him, he just said, like, this is how many times I risked my life. This is what the scars mean to me.
I know that, like, well, gambler character, if you translate it to like slot machine gameplay, Tifa gets the slot machine.
That's true.
But like, I'm sure there must be other examples throughout the other games of like slot machine using characters with mechanics. I feel as if that would be a pretty easy idea to like copy over like multiple games. I wouldn't have assumed he was the first one in the franchise.
I don't know if he's the first one, but in 5 they were like, it would be
Kate Sith,
Waka. Too big. But then for 6 we're like, yeah, it's gonna fit perfectly as a character.
6 was the first one.
That's flamboyant.
Okay.
You know. He had, when he joins the party, he had a bandana, but then he takes it off and you can't re-equip it. He loves his fashion, right? He looks good. You like the drip, right? He joins the party. He sees Locke with the bandana. Get that shit out of here. You can't be 2 bandana dudes in here. So he just says no to the bandana.
That was supposed to be a thing, or that
he was supposed to have a bandana.
Okay.
And then he it's Locke's signature, right? So he joins the party. He sees Locke. He's like, in the pocket.
That's funny. But that flowing, long, luscious locks feel
beautiful, huh?
Not tethered by bandana. They feel like they're
flowing,
combed every morning, first thing.
Yeah, looking at himself, admiring himself, crying once in a while.
Well,
anyway, Strago had a wife, and
if he had a daughter,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And she was supposed to be in the game. Her name was Laura, 65, a geomancer, and they were always fighting and like bitching at each other. Like,
Yeah, I guess everyone in town was magic using, right? Like, oh wait, no, it's Tommaso. Everyone's a magic user.
secretly.
So, yeah. Okay,
so they're all descendants of espers.
Right. So his wife would have been. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stench people. Yeah. And Lara would say stuff like, "Oh, you're gonna die before me," and Shago's like, "You're the one with more wrinkles." And then like Shago's like, "Oh, I will be the one dying first. In heaven or hell, I'll be waiting for you." And Lara's like, "Hey, you can't leave yet. We have all this debt to pay." So they just banter all the time, having fun together.
That's supposed to be a thing, or that was a thing.
It was originally he had the wife, but then they removed it.
Okay, so is this so basically everyone had original idea versions of the character.
Yeah.
That it changed.
It changed
to what
during
we are
development.
now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes it just give backstories. Stuff like that.
Okay, because that's the one thing I'm like, are these backstories for the concept versions, or are they actually still considered events that were canon?
Gogo and Umaro. Umaro, you were supposed to meet him like Doomgaze. You were supposed to walk around on the world map, and then like a death gaze rather. You were supposed to walk around on the map, and you would have like a random encounter and use bait, and then he would join you, just like you would find Gal on the Veld. That would have been messed up.
I'd much rather a random
having
Yeti pops out of a door and then pops back in, and then no answers until the world ends.
And Gogo was even harder to find. You would have to go in the pubs of the world of Rune, and he would wander disguised as one of the main characters that you didn't find yet.
Oh, and he was copying them.
Yeah, so you walk in a town and you see Locke, and then you go talk to Locke, and then he's rude and like short responses and like super dickish, and then after you're like, wait a minute. You find a real Locke, and then you go back there, and then Gogo would be there, and you'd be like, "Ah, it's me. Yeah, okay, I'll join your party."
I think so. So you're familiar, of course, with the concept of user path, right?
Yes.
When you're bug testing, you give a bug a given user path. When you
how likely is the user
going to encounter
the bug?
This moment, right?
This is something that he absolutely has to do to complete the level.
Right.
He has to pass through there.
So there are tons of events in this game that are user path 0. Death Gaze is user path 0. Limit breaks are user path 0, right? The missable characters, it sounds like they're still user path 1, providing that if you go to the dots on the map that are points of interest, you're going to encounter them. You're going to meet somebody, and then that's probably going to play out the way as expected. Sleeping that many times to get the scenes, user path 0.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Unless you get a hint from it or whatever.
Yeah. I think if you have a lot of characters, you can have some of them be user path 0. Shit. Again, Chrono Cross mentioned, right? There's characters in that where by choosing A, you do not get access to character B. Tons of that, but as games have evolved and come to their current state, I think, the internet always exists, so like there's never anything such as a true complete secret, but I do think that user path 0 is not, I don't like it unless it's very particularly done. I like user path 1, where it's like you can miss this in a lot of ways if you're just walking by, but like if you are scraping, you're gonna hit it. That's kind of how I feel things are good and feel rewarding, is like if you put the effort into scraping, then you come across the thing, then that's nice. If you scrape and like you still could not possibly have gotten it, and it's user path 0, I'm glad that games are not doing that as much anymore. There's only a couple like things that still kind of do that these days. Character, like if that was with Gogo and it was kind of just like that type of thing, then yeah, you want it to feel a little bit better by making sure that people can like kind of see it. Yeah.
All right.
That was it.
Done. I am
okay.
I've reached the end.
Nothing about Kefka.
Nothing about Kefka, unfortunately, in that interview.
Damn.
Sorry, mate. But yeah, just amazing game, and I thought it was fun to think about like what they had at first, ideas for the characters and stuff, and how development changed.
Well, I loved it. Do you have any feelings about it as a childhood game that you've now revisited? I mean, I don't know, when's the last time you've gone through it?
The last time I've gone through it was in maybe 2004, maybe?
Okay, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
And that was like the nth time?
Cégep, that was the second time.
Okay.
Like, I played it like in high school, and I played it in Cégep another time, yeah. And this is like the third time, and we've
Cégep is Quebec College.
Yeah, college. Yeah, sorry.
No. Well, I've used it before.
Yeah. And I learned a lot more in this playthrough. I didn't know about the coin thing when with Setzer and Edgar and Sabin are in the back, and Sabin is like, "That's the same coin you used for the throne, you son of a..." Like, that blew my mind. Yeah, I was super emotional at the end again.
Are you offended by the use of 3D in the Pixel Remaster opera scene? No, it was awesome.
No.
It was awesome. It was really well done. It was tasteful, and they held themselves back knowing that, you know, the time to use it would be like a giant FMV kind of moment and not in a gameplay context, you know? But I thought that was pretty tasteful.
They did an excellent job.
And I also feel that, like, well, I mean, as someone who is, you know, I don't have the nostalgia factor, I think they could have, like, they could have even been use it a little bit more, and by keeping it in cutscene moments, I think it would have been an interesting way to kind of be like, you know, I guess though, you know, no, it was smart. It was smart to kind of, I guess, restrict it. Because there's definitely a chance people would have been like, "Oh God, don't play that version. It has the horrible 3D cutscenes."
Yeah.
So, I could see that have been a thing. And I did get a message from one person who was not happy about them. So there
are some purists.
There are some people that are definitely like, I want it pure. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like, the music, for the most part, like 95% of it was great. Some songs are just as good as the original. Some are a bit worse. Like the Chocobo song, I kind of like prefer the original one. Some tracks, like in Dancing Mad, there are like some instruments that are changed. Like when it goes, like the instruments are different, and I'm like, it felt really good in the original, but I'll allow it this time, you know.
No, that's a fucking awesome track. I remember now, like, I've seen that sprite of like God Kefka
flying.
Yeah, is there an official name for Final Form Kefka?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'm just gonna call it God Emperor Clown, but
that's good.
That I've seen that, and I think I've seen like the poll of like Dancing Mad versus Safer Sephiroth, you know, and I mean, listen, I also saw people are just like, yo, like, favorite FF, better than 7, better than Chrono Trigger.
I did not want to ask you that question. I'm like, don't. I will not expose you like that to danger.
Don't do that. Not because of the danger exposure, certainly, but because I need a minute. I just beat it.
You need to process what happened.
Yeah. You know, people don't work that way. You don't form your opinions the second that it happens, certainly. But it's a very good game. Ranking is not important, you know, but it's fucking awesome. Just, yeah, like, you can, you know, anyone...
You need a few days.
You can digest and you know, and there's also always the question, too, of, like, what did I miss? What's the full experience? You know, because, like, a lot of people, for example, feel strongly about their experience in Chrono Trigger and how much they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But over the years, they grew to rank it even higher for the extra endings that they didn't get. Not everyone went back and got all those endings. And finding out about how many there were and how much they didn't do and didn't see, you go, oh my God, there's
like,
so much more.
I didn't see the right ending.
Precisely. Yeah. So, like, the experience you have versus all the things you didn't do, over time, it kind of coalesces, and then you get a vibe out of that. So, you know, that applies to everything you play. So, yeah.
Amazing game.
Good. Don't put no dumb questions out there.
No. I don't want that smoke. I'm not taking it. Oh yeah, thank you for playing one of my favorite games. Yep. Well, that was just amazing.
You're welcome.